In the heart of the densest woods, where sunlight struggled to pierce the canopy above, there lay a path seldom trodden by human feet. It snaked its way through ancient trees that whispered secrets to the wind, their gnarled roots clutching at the earth like skeletal fingers. Few dared to venture there, for legends whispered of a darkness that dwelled deep within the forest, a darkness hungry for souls. Amelia had always been drawn to the mysteries of nature. Her curiosity was insatiable, her spirit adventurous. It was on a cool autumn afternoon that she found herself standing at the forest's edge, gazing into its depths with a mix of awe and trepidation. The rustling leaves beckoned her forward, and despite the warning voices in her mind, she stepped onto the leaf-strewn path. The forest welcomed her with a chorus of creaking branches and the distant calls of unseen creatures. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, and with every step, Amelia felt as though she was being swallowed by the ancient wilderness. As she walked deeper, the light began to fade, swallowed by the towering trees that loomed overhead. Shadows danced around her, playing tricks on her senses. Was that a figure darting between the trunks, or merely a trick of the failing light? Amelia quickened her pace, trying to shake off the unease that gripped her heart like icy fingers. Suddenly, a sound shattered the silence, a twig snapping underfoot. She spun around, heart pounding, but there was nothing behind her except the endless rows of trees. Her breath came in ragged gasps as she pressed on, her pulse racing in time with her footsteps. Hours seemed to pass in that twilight realm, where time lost its meaning and reality blurred. The forest seemed to grow denser around her, the trees closing ranks as if to block her path. Panic clawed at her mind, threatening to overwhelm her, but still, she pushed forward, driven by an inexplicable urge to see what lay beyond. Then, just as the darkness threatened to consume her completely, she stumbled into a small clearing. Moonlight filtered through the canopy above, casting an ethereal glow over the scene before her. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient oak tree, its gnarled branches reaching skyward like the arms of a forgotten deity. But it was not the tree that held Amelia's gaze, it was the figure standing beneath it, a woman, draped in a tattered cloak that seemed to blend seamlessly with the shadows around her. Her face was hidden beneath a hood, but Amelia could feel her piercing gaze fixed upon her, assessing her with an intensity that sent a chill down her spine. "Who are you?" Amelia's voice trembled as she spoke, her words swallowed by the silence of the forest. The woman's lips curled into a faint smile, revealing teeth that gleamed like ivory in the moonlight. "I am the guardian of this forest," she said, her voice a melodic whisper that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. "You are trespassing in a realm not meant for mortal souls." Amelia's heart hammered in her chest as she took a step back, fear coursing through her veins like wildfire. I didn't mean to intrude," she stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. "Please, I'll leave, just let me go." But the woman's smile widened, a predatory glint in her eyes. "It is too late for that, child," she said, her voice cold as the grave. "You have trespassed into my domain, and now you must pay the price." With a flick of her wrist, the woman raised her hand, and the forest around them seemed to come alive. Roots snaked out from the ground like serpents, twisting and coiling around Amelia's ankles, binding her in place. She struggled against their grasp, but it was futile. The roots held her fast, their grip tightening with every desperate gasp. As the woman approached, her cloak billowing like smoke, Amelia's mind raced with thoughts of escape. She had wandered into a nightmare, a realm where the line between reality and myth blurred beyond recognition. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she whispered frantic prayers into the silence, hoping against hope that something, would save her from this living hell. But the forest remained indifferent to her plight, its ancient trees bearing witness to her terror. And as the woman loomed over her, her eyes alight with unholy fervor, Amelia knew with a dreadful certainty that her fate had been sealed. The last thing she saw before the darkness claimed her was the woman's face, twisted in a mockery of pity and triumph. And as the forest swallowed her screams, the shadows closed in around them, concealing the horror that lurked within its depths. For in the heart of the forest, where sunlight dared not tread, a soul was claimed, and the ancient trees whispered their secrets to the wind once more.